Hello students, we are going to see the subject civics lesson number 1, that is introduction to our constitution, standard 7th. This is the part 3 of this lesson. Now we are going to see the point, what is administration. What is administration? So see here that what is included in the administration. See here that government has to make laws relating to several subjects such as defining the boundaries. Okay, defining the boundaries means every country has the boundaries. Okay, and it is this country's land is attached with other countries. So at that time there are many issues relating to the boundary. So at the boundaries there are many soldiers. Okay, or the government has to defend that border with the help of soldiers. So government has to make the law relating to the boundaries. Now the next is that protecting the people from external aggression. Okay, the second is that the government also has to make the laws protecting the people from external aggression. External aggression means from the foreign aggression. Okay, foreign aggressors also invade on the country, and at that time people get frightened from that aggressors. Okay, from that invaders. So at that time it is the duty of the government that to protect the people from that aggressors. Okay, now the next is law related to eradication of poverty. Means what? Government, it is the government's duty that that people should be out of the below poverty level. Okay, so that's why it is the responsibility to eradicate, means to destroy the poverty from the people. Okay, from the people means no one should be below poverty level. So it is the responsibility of the government that to give the opportunities, job opportunities to people, so that no one will be poor in the society. And in this way government for making the availability of jobs, it is the government's duty to make available the jobs there. Okay, so eradication of poverty. So the next is that is creating employment. So means if government is making or creating employment, means making the jobs. Okay, making the jobs for the people, then obviously there will be the eradication of poverty. Okay, and also creating education and health services. So if we are giving the tax to the government, so it is the duty of the government that government should provide the good education, then also good health facilities, good health services. Okay, so this way government should make the laws related to the employment, education, health. Okay, and see here the next is that is encouragement to commerce and industries. Government also can make the laws related to making the good commerce. Okay, so encouragement to commerce means there should be the money more. Okay, so which that money should be run in the various forms of industries. Okay, in the various forms of works, in the various forms of jobs. So through that the economy will grow up fastly. Okay, economy will grow up fastly, and in this way people and as well as the country will get developed through the economy. So it is the responsibility of the government that they should make the laws related to commerce, and also government should give the encouragement to establish the industries. Okay, and the next is that is protection of the weaker sections. It is also the responsibility of the government that they should protect the rights of the weaker sections. Means the mostly the caste, which are the caste, no, lower caste, that the caste protection should be made by the government. So making policies for the progress of the women. Okay, means what? Making policies for the progress of women means in India still women are not equal to men. So for making women, okay, capable, and they should be run their own work, okay. So it is the responsibility of government. So relating to that thing, if there is need of making any policies, government has to make that. Then also children and tribal people also, okay, they can government has to make the policies not only for women but also for children and the tribal people, okay, tribal people who are away from the modernity, who are away from the education, who are away from the health services, okay, the tribal people. So government has also to make policies, also to make laws for the tribal children and for women, okay. So this way these are the subjects, these are the areas on which government has to focus, okay, and they have government has to make the laws regarding these subjects, okay. Now next, government has to bring about desirable changes in the society by implementing laws. So only government has made the laws regarding the above subjects, okay, and it has released all the things like that way, okay. It is not, it will not be the good, no, that there should be, according to the laws whatever the government has made, according to that laws, the desirable results are not there, or desirable changes are happening in the society or not there. That is the responsibility of the government also, okay. Means only implementation of laws is not important, but uh, how much change is seen, okay, after the implementing that laws, it is also the responsibility of government. And if the change is not happening, then government has to change then, okay, that laws, okay. So it is a responsibility of government. In short, governments, okay, in short, governments in modern time have to take decisions related to different issues, right from space research to public cleanliness. Means if you see, okay, if you see, the government's duty is not only uh, to uh, to protect the people or to protect the subject from the foreign aggressors, but it is also the responsibility, okay, or the area of government is increased, that it is from space research to public cleanliness. In all the issues, on these all issues, government has to give attention. So this is governance or administration. So these all things, okay, whatever the subjects now we discussed, that all subjects, okay, are take care by government, okay. And in this way, this is called the governance or administration, governance or administration. Now we have seen, okay, what is administration, okay, what is administration. So this way, students, okay, means once the law is made, okay, in short, in simple language I am telling you what is administration. Once the laws are made for the progress of people, for their for their development, for their establishment, settlement, okay, once the laws are made by government, and after that it is the responsibility of the government that laws should be implemented well. And once they are implemented, desirable changes are not are found or not, to see that also it is the government's duty. So for all these things, okay, for applying these laws, for changing, for looking at change, okay, whatever the system the government makes, okay, that is the administration, okay, that is administration in short, okay. So this way, students, see, we are going to see now the background to the making of the constitution, okay, background up to the constitution of to the making of the constitution. Now see here, okay, when the constitution means was started to used, or whatever, when it was going to be made, okay, that we are going to see here the process of, okay, the process of making the process of making of the Indian constitution started in 1946. when the Indian constitution was started to make, it was in 1946. Means our India got the freedom in on 15th August. Okay, 15th August 1947. So when Britishers told that they are going to leave the India, that time the Indian leaders started to think that they should have their own constitution, and according to that, the constitution, okay, for the assembly, okay, for assembly writing constitution, it was started in 1946. Okay, and the leaders of the freedom movement insisted that independent India will be governed by, okay, will be governed not by the laws made by the British but by the laws made by Indian themselves. Okay, so freedom fighters or the leaders of freedom movement also, they insisted on, or they were they said that the independent India should have its own rules, okay, should have its own laws, and that means in before 1947 there were the rules or laws were followed, which were followed, that rules were made by Britishers. Okay, so but after 1947 there should be the laws or rules which will be followed, that should be written by the Indians. So that's why one committee was established, to prepare the constitution of India. Okay, and see here, and it came to be known as Constituent Assembly. Okay, Constituent Assembly. So what is mean by Constituent Assembly? Constituent Assembly means it is one type, it is one group of people. Okay, it was one group of people who were assembled, or who were came together to write the constitution of India. Okay, so that is called Constituent Assembly. Now we are going to see that Constituent Assembly. See here, Constituent Assembly, India became independent on 15th August 1947. So before that, all of you know that British were ruling over India. So at that time, okay, before 1947, India was divided into three provinces. Okay, India was divided into three provinces like Bombay, Bengal, and Madras. Okay, and why India was divided into Bombay, Bengal, and Madras? For the convenience of administration only. Okay, for the convenience of administration, means administration should be run smoothly, and that's why India was divided into Bombay province, Bengal province, and Madras province. Okay, because the area of India is was at the time also very vast. It was also very expanded. That's why it was divided. So the administration in these provinces, okay, in these provinces was carried out by people's representatives. So most of the areas, most of the provinces, okay, of the administration of that provinces, the administration was run by the people's representative. Means at that time also people's representative were elected. Okay, but in some local areas, okay, in some local similarly some local princes also, okay, local princes were also carrying out the administration. Okay, but such areas were known as princely states, and their chiefs were known as princes. Okay, so in the princely state, okay, in the where the princely state were there, in that areas princes were, okay, who was the chief to see that administration, he was called as princes. Okay, so he was looking after the administration of that particular area. Okay, this way the representatives of the province and the princely states were included in the Constituent Assembly. So these were also included in the Constituent Assembly, means who the who were the people who were elected by the people. Okay, that also, and also the princes also who were running the administration of the particular area, that prince and people representatives were also included in the Constituent Assembly. Now see here, how many members were there in Constituent Assembly? That is 299 members. Okay, 299 members were in the Constituent Assembly, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the president of the Constituent Assembly. So Rajendra Prasad was the constituent of that assembly. Okay, now see here, we are going to see the next point. Okay, so that is here the contribution of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, that we are going to see. The contribution of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. So Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee. Okay, drafting committee means Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar had taken the initiative in making the Constitution of India. Okay, he had studied in depth about the constitutions of different countries of the world. Okay, different countries of the world, and he studied and contemplated day and night to draft our constitution. So for making the Constitution of India, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar had also studied many countries' constitution, and according to that, he thought over many laws made in other countries, and according to that, he also made the draft, okay, of our constitution. Okay, so the draft constitution prepared by him was presented to the Constituent Assembly. So whatever the draft, after studying more, he prepared, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar prepared the constitution, and that draft constitution, okay, draft constitution means katsa, okay, draft means katsa, that is kacchi rajya ghatna, draft constitution. So it was prepared by him, and it was presented to the Constituent Assembly. So in Constituent Assembly there were 299 members. Okay, and that 299 members were princes or the people representatives, and other also who had more knowledge about the laws. Okay, so that type of people were there in the Constituent Assembly. So the draft constitution was prepared to the Constituent Assembly, and it was discussed article by article there. Okay, so and in that assembly, the every draft, okay, every article was discussed, and many amendments were suggested by different members. So many suggestions, okay, many amendments, okay, that is many changes, okay, were suggested by different members, and also see here, that is Ambedkar, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar handled the task of preparing the draft and answering the various questions raised on it, and making changes in the draft as per the suggestions of the constituent. So Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar handled the task of presenting the draft, means he had only studied the many constitutions of the various countries, and he prepared the draft of our country. So according to that, it was the responsibility of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar that okay, whenever the questions were raised, okay, whenever the questions were asked, when that articles were discussed, it was the responsibility of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar to give the answers, okay, satisfying answers to the members. Okay, and wherever the changes were needed, okay, according to the members, that changes were also made. So this way the work was going on of making the constitution. See, so the thing was that that making changes in draft as per the suggestions of the Constituent Assembly, and making every provision of the constitution flawless. Flawless means faultless. So there was the keen observation on the thing that the constitution should be made flawless, means faultless, any fault will not be there. So for that, every member was very much careful about it. So due to his contribution towards the making of the constitution, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is called the architect of the Indian Constitution. So he had contributed more, okay, in making the constitution. So that's why Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is called as architect Okay, he is called as architect of the Indian Constitution. Okay, means for building the house, we call the architect engineer. Okay, and he makes the estimate of the house. Okay, no, so like that way. Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar only was the person who studied the India other constitutions and made the draft of our constitution, and that's why he is called the architect of the Indian constitution. Okay, now see here, students. Mm, some part is there. I will discuss in the next part. Okay, I will stop here. Thank you.